Hi folks, Stratman here from pipware.com. Just having a look over the Euro Yen for a possible trade. What I'm looking at pretty much is I'm on the M15 time frame, and I can see that the distance to the moving averages at the moment, moving averages being above us. This is the M5 SMA 60 distance, the M15 SMA 60 and the H1 SMA 60. So what I'm seeing is, for me, I'm really not wanting to enter into a trend to a trade to continue this downtrend at the moment. I'd really be looking to get in on a pullback. But what I'm seeing is possibly a opportunity to do a counter trend trade while I'm waiting for that to set up. So ideally, we want to go short because everything's telling us that. But we're definitely oversold on our tricks here. We've crossed over the slow tricks. We've got basically divergence happening here. The histogram is getting less and less and less as the price action has been going down. Also on the stochastics, we've got the same kind of thing happening. It's pretty much bottomed out for quite a while with this down move, so potentially we could be looking, as soon as this starts popping up slightly, we could be getting into an up move. So that bodes well for a counter trend trade. We're starting to see that on the H1, these bars here are getting a little bit smaller in size as they're coming down. This here is yesterday's low, and we'd really want to be seeing this turning around on the H1 on the stochastics as well. So let's just have a look up at price action. Certainly divergence here on the M5 so far, down move coming up on the tricks, and we keep going into overside because we've got this really wacky price action because of the big moves from the last few days. So looking at the main chart on M15, definitely downtrend is in action. The safest trades are short trades, but we're going to investigate trying to get just a quick counter trend trade in here. So if we go down to here and put in a couple of lines, we can see that that's yesterday's low just there. So what we wanted to see is that if price within this 1 hour that we've got right now, 1 hour candle, we want to see whether this candle manages to close below this point. We can also see that that's pretty much around the 117 mark, and is a good kind of support and resistance through here. We can see lows here and highs here, so support this side, resistance this side, and so we're just looking at this to see whether we might get a quick kind of counter trend long trade in. So we'd really be interested in, the main thing is candle closing below this line or above this line on the end of this 1 hour. This 1 hour finishes in another 20 minutes. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's my assessment for now. I could try and trade short, but look, if I was trading short right now, I haven't got a guaranteed close below my support line here, and this has acted as good support and resistance in the past, so I wouldn't want to be trading short until I see this come down, close below, pull back, and then probably get in to continue the short. So that means pulling into my EMAs. Okay, so let's just let that rest a little while and see what might come out of this. Well, a bit of a hard one to judge. The H1 candle is just closed, and we're 3 minutes into the new candle. Just another reassessment of the markets. Well, H1 is showing a slight turn upwards on the stochastics. Got a slight green candle there. The candle was very hard to see where it closed there, but if we get down to the M15, we can see we've pretty much, it came down, didn't quite get underneath, and now we're back above. So what we're looking for is for a counter trend trade, trying to see if this can pull us back into the moving average and give us a few pips. So what we're looking for is distance to a moving average, and we've got 34 to the M5 moving average. which is here at the moment. We've got 58 and 150 to the others. So what we're trying to do is see if we can do a trade that will get us up to this moving average, and you know, if M1 can pull back a bit back to this moving average here, we could trade long off it. So let's just see if we get our entry. And so our counter trend entry has presented itself. Price came down and has bounced off my SMA 60, and the Trix is following around as well, and we've got the crossover of the M5 Trix. We've got good slope on the M5 stochastics, M15 stochastics starting to point up with a nice reversal formation here, and the H1 is starting to point upwards. So entry on the bounce of the SMA 60. Just check out the SMA 60, is really powerful for bouncing. So we now considered that this trade has got to its conclusion. If you were wanting to get out at this point, we certainly came up close to our M5 moving average. It might still get there. What have we got left? I mean, we're on the M1 chart. We'll go back out to the M15. I mean, we're 23 pips away now because we've dropped back, but if we have a good look at our M1 chart just to get a bit of detail, we entered on the pullback here on the M1, and we could have exited up at this point or this point, wherever you like. So if we measure that up from just here, and we're looking at about 25 pips, so depending on where you entered on that bounce there, it's anywhere between 15 to 20 pips on a counter trend trade is quite good. For some of you, you may want to stay in until this trend line here has been breached to show that we shouldn't be continuing a long trade. And for me, I left the trade in, and we actually busted through the M5 SMA, and now I'm starting to see it slacken off a bit on the M15 SMA, so I got out. So my trade was fairly significant. We're talking 50 pips, so it was a nice little trade. Hopefully that's a good example for you guys to learn a few things off. Exit was really based on just the fact that price action seemed to be slowing down a bit or hesitating, and we were definitely overbought here on the Trix and the M1 and M5. So and it was counter trend, so 50 pips is quite extreme to be able to get out of that. Okay folks, we'll catch you later.